All right, so this is a very, very different style of video. This is going to be more a Q&A style question to your questions and my answers to them. Shout out Woody's Gamertag for the Mail Monday. But I just got an abundance of emails these last few weeks, and I think there's such good questions in here, too good that I think it'd be stupid to not share my answers with everyone here, including the gentleman who asked these questions. So I'm going to see how much I have time for. Let's get right into them. I'm going to read them step by step. I'll even throw them on the screen, and then I'll give you my honest and serious opinion. Let's go into it. Question number one. Hi, I recently came across your channel or your video about retiring by 30, and it really resonated with me. Great work. I'm 19 years old, currently working a warehouse job, and I've managed to save up around 80 grand by living extremely frugally and investing as much as possible. I've been grinding hard, working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, with the goal of achieving financial freedom so I don't have to work until I'm 65. What I really want is the freedom to do what I want, when I want, however I want. However, I've been struggling to take action on potential business ideas. I'll have ideas, but I often hold back from pursuing them. What advice would you give to someone in my situation? I almost mixed up the words there. So first off, thank you. I know I replied to you separately. This is before the massive influx of emails, but I'm seeing this as a very common thing. I struggled with it in the beginning. And first off, I just want to say, if legit, which it sounds like you are, 80 grand at 19 is insane. You're well ahead of most people that age, and I'm not comparing you for the sake of comparing. It's good to look at benchmarks. Money's there as a goal, kind of keeper, if you will. That's huge. It's amazing. So congratulations. Pat yourself on the back there. You obviously know what you're doing when it comes to saving, and I was the exact same way. But I'm going to tell you right now, right off the rip, right? This is where I got a little bit luckier. You are in a warehouse job, right? So there's not really much of a transferable skill there. And I think you know that, which is incredible. You've got the self-awareness to know it's like, hey, I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't want to do this for the next 30 to 40 years. You could make millions doing that. And I could promise you, you're not going to be fulfilled, which I think you know already, which is great, right? So I appreciate the mindset that you're already in, that you know you need to have your own thing. And I've talked about this a million times. Now, I would say at 19, like you're so young. I did a video talking about this last week, but it was around high school when I just threw myself into as many ideas as I possibly could, from wholesaling to trying to sell cars online and charge a finder's fee for it, trying to connect business owners with private equity firms. I mean, you named it. You name it, I tried it all. Like literally every single thing, right? Now, my recommendation is one of two things here. Number one, I also did a video on this last, I think, Wednesday. Learn sales, right? This is going to build your confidence, but also your bank account over time. And it's going to give you the freedom and the skills eventually to go and start your own thing, right? If you want to start your own thing, you're going to learn how to sell. You need to know these things, right? So I'd say that's number one. And that's honestly the recommendation that I'm leaning to. If you really feel inclined to, this is the second option. Evenings and weekends are basically when you can, especially throughout the holidays and or now, just map out one idea that speaks to you most, okay? One that is ideally service-based, so there's next to no startup costs. And this is where, you can choose to start, I don't know, a landscaping business that, goes door to door. You could start a marketing company. But again, it's the skills that I'm constantly being tripped up on, right? So you could go and do that. I'm not going to shy away from that because I've seen both ways work. But in most cases, again, I'm going to choose number one, right? So you want something that's online. You want something with freedom. If you really wanted to start the business, again, you'd have to do cold email. You'd have to get in front of potential customers at some way. So cold email, LinkedIn, cold calls, Reddit threads. Either offer to work for free in exchange for a case study or work on a performance basis for your first few clients, like I did with lead gen. And then just charge them once they start getting good results, right? That's the risk with owning your own thing, is you're gonna have to fork up the money in this in the beginning, right? So that's the only tricky part. So I'd really recommend learning sales, watching my sales video, and just breaking it down basically step by step of like, okay, get on Upwork, get in forums, get on LinkedIn, and start looking at these different sales roles, because you can make a boatload in commissions. Now, obviously with the warehouse job, you're going to have to be careful with that, right? And I want to say if you're investing a good chunk, invest some of that in your education, invest some of that in your skill set, because the best investment you're ever going to make is you, right? Is yourself. So just be careful with that. And I don't know, man. I could tell you're hungry. I could tell you want it. You're 19 years old. You have so much time. You could fail for the next couple of years and you'd be totally fine. So I would start right now learning sales. And I mean, 80 grand, like you've got enough of a buffer to keep yourself well. So keep living frugally, stack your cash, and build your exit out of the warehouse job. Question number 2. So I'll just get right into it. Hey man, hope all is well with you. I'm emailing you about your 2 videos I watched. One of them was the 9 to 5 one, and I think the financially freedom one. I love them both, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions. I'm 23 years old, finishing up my associate's degree, and I'm also a substitute teacher in the district I work in, and it's not that bad. I make $3,600 to $3,800 a month, sometimes more with bonuses, and I've had this job for almost 3 years. I've not spent money on anything flashy, and I live with my parents for a little. I have a 2009 Honda Civic. Nice, respect. I'm planning on driving till I can't anymore, and I also keep up with my car maintenance. I've been able to save more than 40 grand due to being frugal. I recently just got an apartment with my girlfriend for around $1,800 a month, all utilities included except electric and Wi-Fi. We go half on everything. Reason for moving is because my stepdad and I had issues and I couldn't do it anymore. I have no loans at all, just rent and bills. That's it. My question to you is, with that cash in my savings, what would be a good thing to do? Roth IRA, invest, high yield savings account? I eventually want to leave my job for something better in the graphic design and marketing field. Sorry this is a lot. I hope you see this. Your videos are great. Thank you. So this is my answer. This is an interesting one. I love this. Just getting right into the juicy details. Your income is not bad. At least for now, I really don't think so. And your expenses are incredible. I love the idea on the car. I was stupid looking back on it 6 years ago. I did the opposite. I bought an older BMW and had issues with it within literally days. So that's another story for another video. But I really like your situation. You're in a I wouldn't say a no-fail situation, but it is really hard to mess things up with how cheap your rent is. And if you are truly going half with your girlfriend as well, I mean, your monthly burn is not that bad at all. So you're in a good position. I would say 100% run that Civic into the ground. Don't buy anything flat. Don't buy any new cars. Don't do anything crazy. There's just something freeing about not having a car payment, right? Because it's just mentally conditioned into you that you always have to have a car payment. That's how it was for me growing up. It's like, well, 2 years old car, 3 years old car, gotta go to get a new one. No, like for anyone listening, that's stupid. Do not do that. Car debt can kill you. Okay. And funnily enough, I moved out due to my stepmom issues as well. Like that there was some friction there, and that pushed me to be better. And it was a great decision. It actually put my back up against the wall, as silly as that may sound. I say, if you've got good parents, if you've got a roof over your head, keep pushing with that. Like try to save as much money as you can that way. But there will come a point where push comes to shove and you just got to move out. And that put my back up against the wall. So I think you're feeling that pressure, and that's hopefully what inclined you to send your email here. Now let's get to the juicy details. I'd say take the obviously max advantage of any tax-free accounts where you can. That's more or less free money, especially when it gets compounding, right? And just set up a recurring buy basis when you get paid or once per month for a very basic Vanguard. This isn't financial advice, it's just what I do, but a very basic Vanguard index fund that mirrors the S&P. Like just set that up, set it and forget it. Don't even look at it if you don't have to. Obviously make sure that it's properly buying things, but I would highly recommend doing that. And the most important part of this question, I'd say, I know you're not going to want to hear this, but most don't, and it is sort of cliche. The best investment that will easily get you the best return is yourself, right? You need to invest right now with your savings in the situation that you're in. You've got some room to invest in yourself because you're going to get the best return that way. So invest in your own skills, your health, so you could be as sharp as you humanly possibly can, right? So I'm talking courses, books. If you need to speak with a consultant that can get you, a few steps ahead of your peers or just ahead in your own corporate life, that's incredible, right? So not to combine them too much with the last question, but sales is a great one. It sounds like you've got some interest in marketing. Highly recommend. Like that's insane. That's awesome, man. If you could eventually start freelancing, like that'd be awesome, right? You could freelance your design. So this is where I would say learn from someone, good. I can't name off people right now. I can't really think of people on the top of my head, but find some people that you trust, and you trust on either YouTube. That's been a huge resource for me. Either digest as much as you can on their free content side, and then on the other side, just start testing, start doing your own graphic images, start doing your own marketing things, right? Paid ads are huge right now. It's such a valuable skill to learn as a business owner, not only, but as an agency, as a freelancer, and you could charge a boatload of money for that. So I would say keep your expenses obviously as physically low as possible. Learn these skills when you can. I would highly recommend not dropping your job right now. Don't worry about doing that. We are nowhere near that position just yet. Keep stacking that cash in the background. When you can, on evenings and weekends, learn these new skills. Invest in yourself, and you're going to see the best return that way. And then I would say any excess cash, throw right into the index fund. I would say any cash that you're holding on the sidelines right now, 100%, anything that's not invested, put in a high yield, just at least get a few percent on it every single month. And that way it's not at least burning to inflation. At least that way you can just break even with inflation and roll from there. Man, like this one speaks to me, because this is exactly what I did when my car was paid off. I can't tell you the weight that was lifted off my shoulders. And then living at home, I was just trying a boatload of things, right? I already talked about this in another video, but go check that out, where I was literally just trying shit, man. I was just trying stuff to see what stuck, what didn't, what I liked, what I didn't, more importantly, and what I really wanted to focus on. And then that's when I started my agency. And I see something, very similar here happening to you if you go down that path properly and you build yourself properly. So anyways, to anyone listening, as always, I want you to win if you've made it this far. And, there's going to be more questions like this coming soon. So if you have any questions with me personally, shoot me an email, and we'll go from there. Thank you.